This is Daniel's 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which shall stand up before the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to all the elders and apostles of GMS that taught me this truth. Peace and shalom to my fellow Akim. And hey, man, so much is going on, So much is going on, man. Like, within, just like the past 2 days, like, if you're paying attention and your eyes are open and your ears are open, man, like, a lot is happening. And it just seems like, just like in the last few days, it's ramped up. And we're clearly in the last days, man. All right, we're clear in the last days. There's brothers up putting different videos that the economy is getting ready to collapse, that they're getting ready to push the digital currency. They've already ramped up the whole door-to-door thing, and that's what this lesson is going to be about, man. Various topics. We're going to just touch over different things, riots in different countries, uproars in different countries, high crime rates here in Babylon or America. And the only thing I can see them doing is getting ready to bring in the troops, man. Okay. And so this is verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, the confusion of the earth, okay, shall awake. Some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And when these goddamn martial law troops or these FEMA troops or whoever kick in your damn door and take you, or a foreign soldier takes you, your ass will be walked in. You'll be walked in, and either you understand that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is dealing with you, or that the Lord is about to put you in your family to death, man. That's how it's gonna be, man. All right. So we're gonna get into a few short videos. Got a few of them, and Lord willing, that this lessons edify. Like I said, man, it's just various topics. So much is going on right now. Like a lot is going on right now. So we're just gonna dive into it, man. Let's start with the wildfires in Oregon.
Let's move on now. Wildfires continue to rip through western United States as the region reels under extreme heat and drought situations. The region has been witnessing extreme heat waves over the past few weeks, smashing records everywhere from Southern California to Oregon. Thousands of firefighters across 12 states are now battling wildfires that have burnt a total of more than 850,000 acres as of now. The Beckworth complex, the largest wildfire burning in California, has burned more than 91,200 acres alone. Some 26% of the fire has been contained so far. A wildlife raging in Oregon is currently the largest fire in the country, burning more than 200,000 acres across the state. The Bootleg fire, which has been burning since July 6th, is now the largest active blaze, covering an area larger than the size of New York City. And as of Tuesday, the raging blaze has destroyed 54 structures and more than 20 homes in the Klamath County. Fire officials, meanwhile, have issued a warning saying that the blaze will continue to spread in areas with above average temperatures and will only be fueled by the high winds blowing in the region.
And there's fires in let me see if I can just pull it up. Fires in California as well, man. I know I'm spelling, I'm just trying to type it in. I'm just trying to type it in real quick. Look at this, man. California wildfires. River fire explodes in sides of Mariposa, Madonna counties.
Did you know that there's a specific 2,000-year-old
Oh,
Korean
man.
food that you can eat to help get rid of your heartburn naturally? And did you know that acid reflux and
very horrifying. The wind and the fire and the speed of it, it just overtook everybody. We got out in time. I looked in my rearview mirror and the flames passed over the road and headed down my driveway and burned both sides of my property and 6 dwellings.
The fire was moving so fast and so hot, it was exploding spot fires ahead of it, way ahead of it, like a gunshot. It was one of those things that, you know, you're kind of like, well, I love you, goodbye, this could be it. You know, I hope not, but
Man. And this, hey, we at the end of this thing, man. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to bring judgment upon Babylon. All right. All the signs are here. And this is Acts 2 and 17. And we'll read into like the 19th chapter. Acts 2 and 17. That's a beautiful chapter. Acts 2 and 17. And it shall come to pass that in the last days, which we clearly are in, saith the Lord Yahweh, thy power, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old man shall dream dreams. And we have a lot of people, we have a lot of brothers and sisters that are seeing visions and dreams, and we have a lot of the heathen nations as well, seeing dreams, man, seeing the end times, seeing the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua coming. And you even had what's her name, Carrie Hilton, a while back, come out and said she regularly has dreams of chariots. Okay, chariots fighting and destroying the earth, man. And her brother's in GMS as well. I met him. All right. Let me see here. Verse 18. And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above. All right, the chariots, all right, the blood moons, the super wolf moons, all these different things. And signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke, man. Here we go right here, man. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua is telling you before he gets ready to bring the wrath, okay? The sun shall be turned into darkness, the moon into blood, before the great and notable day of the Lord Yahweh shall come. And that's what's getting ready to happen, man. That's what's getting ready to happen. That's what the elders and apostles on down have been prophesying about, man. The great and notable day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And ultimately is going to end with thermonuclear fire, man. The war. All right. Let's see here, Salaki. All right, let's go on to our next videos, man. Because we're in those times, man. We're in those times. Unprecedented wildfires like never before, man. All right. Blood and vapor of smoke, man, is what we see, man. Okay. fire tornadoes, man. All right. It's going down, man. Let's see here. All right, now we're finna get into what's going on in South Africa, man. Reporting of 72 people have died during these wild ass protests down there, man. Okay.
It's the worst violence to hit South Africa in decades. In the Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal provinces, hundreds of shopping malls have been set on fire and ransacked. Major roads have been
Again, more vapor of smoke.
blocked, infrastructure has been damaged, fuel and food supplies have been cut. The deployment of thousands of soldiers in the provinces has failed to stop the unrest. Tandy Johnson breaks down in tears upon discovering what's left of a party supply store in the township of Soweto.
Do you think I'm going to sleep tonight when I see this? Do you think I'm going to be able to just close my eyes and sleep? Why don't I just sleep forever?
Protests erupted last Friday after former President Jacob Zuma was taken into custody to begin serving a 15-month jail term for failing to attend an inquiry into corruption during his presidency. Despite the slew of corruption allegations against him, the former anti-apartheid fighter remains popular among many poor South Africans. Poverty has been exacerbated by restrictions aimed at curbing the spread of COVID-19. The economy has been struggling, and growing joblessness has left people ever more desperate. Unemployment hit a record high of 33% in the first quarter of the year.
The jobs that are being lost at the moment are going to exacerbate the situation, and we don't need this. To see people's shops and businesses being gutted, yes, people are hungry today, but tomorrow there'll be more unemployment, more pain, more suffering.
When we locked down again, this was bound to happen, because the longer you leave the people hungry, this events would take place. And I don't think it's only about the whole economy and what's happening on there. I think people are genuinely hungry and they need some type of income.
There's been growing anger over unfulfilled promises that followed the end of white minority rule in 1994. There's also been criticism that law enforcement failed to preempt the unrest, and that President Cyril Ramaphosa failed to provide decisive leadership to calm anger over Zuma's imprisonment and reassure citizens that they'll be safe.
No amount of unhappiness or personal circumstances from our people gives the right to anyone to loot, vandalize, and do as they please and break the law. We call on the communities to exercise restraint in dealing with the situation.
Some COVID-19 vaccination centers have been forced to shut due to the unrest, disrupting the rollout amid a deadly third wave. But despite the deteriorating situation, the government has ruled out declaring a state of emergency. Natasha Hussain, TRT
And
World.
they eventually will bring out troops. I've already this was earlier this morning, this article, and since then I've heard that they brought in some troops. You know, they were having orders to shoot to kill for rioters and looters, and this is just things of what you see, man, in the world today. I'm gonna go and look into another video. Same thing in South Africa. Maybe. What are they doing here? Here we go.
Lumen Labs introduces the Luminizer 3.
A red-hot rage is erupting in South Africa. The jailing of former President Jacob Zuma has triggered days of protests that are now destructive and violent. In Durban, this mother and her baby became trapped on a roof of a building set alight by looters. As the smoke rises, the only thing she can do is trust the people below. After catching the young child, passers-by rushed to help other residents and children caught up in the chaos. Businesses across the country have been completely ransacked during these riots, and many others have shut their doors, making it difficult to get food and fuel as the country faces severe shortages.
The people starting fire, their shops, everything, those That's why the queue for petrol is like this.
Look at how it is. What are we going to eat tomorrow? South Africa is going to be struggling tomorrow. We will be having nothing.
Hundreds have been arrested with the military deployed to help an outnumbered police force. Rubber bullets are being fired to disperse the crowds, but the unrest continues.
We cannot allow anyone to make a mockery of our democratic state, and we have instructed the law enforcement agencies to double their efforts.
And see, and that's what's wrong, man. A democracy state. Let's see here. Let's get that. They've drunken the Babylon juice, man. And now their country is going to shit. Let me see here. I believe it's in Jeremiah. Just a second. I didn't have it pulled up. Let's see here. Yeah, Jeremiah 51:7. I'll just type it in so we can see it. Jeremiah 51:7. Yeah, Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon, America. Okay, because this is a future Babylon that Jeremiah was talking about. Have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken, and he made the earth drunken with his wine, man. It's philosophy, it's doctrine. Okay, setting up puppet presidents. All right, going in and rape, robbing, and murdering the people and pillaging and taking their natural resources, man. Okay, not to mention colonizing and setting up lands where they do not belong. Okay, they've done this all over the world. Okay, so Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, and it won't be long before the other nations start to see who the main culprit behind this is. Hell, they are already seeing it, man. Okay, pretty soon they're going to start pointing fingers, like down in Cuba. They're saying that they're paying protesters to cause hell and anarchy and chaos, which the Esau has done this before. But at the same time, Cuba is a real shithole. They never fixed it from the hurricane more than 4 damn years ago, or the tornado, whatever happened, the flooding. Okay, they never fixed it. All right, so the other nations are upset, are mad, because they drunk the wine. All right.
Some South Africans are taking things into their own hands, creating a blockade to stop the rioters.
All of us have to step in. This looting and the violence will lead us to a point we don't really want to get to that situation.
Zuma was jailed for 15 months for failing to give evidence at an inquiry investigating corruption during his time in office. He challenged the sentence in the country's top court, but it is yet to hand down its decision. For now, South Africa remains in chaos as his supporters unleash their grievances and call for their former president to be freed. Jordan Butler, ABC News.
Yeah, man. Let's just take a look at some of the comments. See what they got to say. Let's see if we got any comments. Oh, the comments are turned off. So yeah, man. We are definitely in those times. You're going to see similar riots like this here in Babylon the Great or America, man. When our system breaks down, man. Okay, so we're gonna go to 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. 2nd Esdras 9:1, and he answered me, then and said, measured out the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Verse 2, Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which he made, and the Lord is visiting the world through his prophecies, man. Okay. This has Lord's fingerprints and handprint all over it, man. Okay. This is how the Lord is visiting the world, man. And to mention the chariots as well, man. Physically visiting the world, okay? Therefore, when now shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And we do have earthquakes and uproars of the people, man. Okay? Uproars of the people. People shouting, chanting, marching. Okay? Then shall thou will understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest, and the end is clearly manifesting, man. All right, the end is clearly manifesting. You're gonna have just a lot is going on. You're gonna have people also that's gonna go against this juice too that they're going door to door with. All right, so let's just move these out of here real quick. All right, let me see here. Did I have that in there? I didn't, man, but I have to pause and pull it up. But now we're gonna go back to Cuba real quick and just look at the uproars of the people.
I woke up to the morning. Security forces took dozens of protesters into custody following a wave of protests on Sunday. But dissidents expressed hope the demonstrations would lead to lasting change. Guillermo Fariñas, a veteran Cuban dissident known for long stints in prison and frequent hunger strikes, said he couldn't believe his eyes as the police station he was briefly held in following mass protests on Sunday filled up with unfamiliar faces, many of them teenagers. He didn't recognize any of them from traditional opposition circles, he said. I told the state security guard who arrested me, "You're going to have to change," Mr. Fariñas, 59, said. This is the people, and not just the people, but the youth. Look at them. They've decided they are not just going to continue leaving the country, they want change here. In the aftermath of a remarkable wave of demonstrations across Cuba over the weekend, the government detained dozens of people in a crackdown that activists described as the largest in years, perhaps even decades. One longtime human rights activist said that the nationwide sweep of arrests was comparable only to the crackdown that preceded the 1961 invasion at the Bay of Pigs. Amnesty International said on Tuesday that it had compiled a list of 150 people detained in the wake of Sunday's demonstrations. Another group, the Movimiento San Isidro, a Cuban dissident group led by artists and academics, tallied 171 reports of people who were detained or who vanished in the wake of the protests. The massive peaceful protests were historic, said Erica Guevara Roses, the Americas director at Amnesty International. While the forms of repression are the same, we're watching a substantial and dangerous mobilization of police and military security forces. Human rights groups said it may take several days to get a clear picture of the scale of the government response because spotty phone and internet connections have made it difficult to track how many people were taken into custody. But Cubans reported seeing a strong presence of security forces on the streets on Monday and Tuesday, and many families were desperately trying to track down loved ones who were detained or who vanished after the demonstrations. The Cuban government said that one person was killed during a disturbance in Havana on Monday. Still, veteran dissidents said the repression was to be expected following what many called the biggest day of protest in the country since the Cuban Revolution, forcing Cuba's leaders to acknowledge the severe economic crisis that had sent thousands into the streets. Many described it as a potential turning point in a country where the Communist Party has managed to stifle even small challenges to its authority for decades. The spark has been lit, ladies and gentlemen, there's no turning back, the independent journalist Yoani Sanchez said in a brief podcast she recorded on Tuesday. People felt what it's like to scream freedom in the streets of Cuba.
And they're also protesting down here in Miami over that as well. And here's this video.
Boncho Cup for you.
Hmm. Holding up the Miami freeway. Protests and uproars of the people everywhere, man. Here's tear gas deployed in Lebanon. It looked like the Lebanon minister's home, they say. Police beating the shit out of somebody, look like. See, these people march and believe what marching will die for what they believe in. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah gonna have to put the spirit on you, you soft ass Americans, man. Okay, and when they do, Esau's gonna react and bring in the troops, man. All right, and this is Jeremiah 17. It'll start at 12. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make it rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. And that's the people shouting and yelling and screaming and protesting, man. All right, in fear and in anger and in anguish, man. All right, because of the judgment of the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shai. And we haven't even hit the hard, dramatic, brutal times yet, man. All right, verse 13. The nation shall rush like a rushing of many waters, but Yahweh shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. Verse 14. And behold, evening tide, trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and a lot of them that rob us. And this goes into the other nations spoiling and robbing us. And this goes into you 2/3 as well, man. Okay, who don't know the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And it tells you that when you read up into the 10th and 11th chapter. Okay. And so, yeah, multitudes and multitudes of people going up against these current ruling powers, man. All right. Verse this is Job 18:11. Just real quick. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Okay, and that's for you 2/3 and Esau Edom, man. All right, because at the same time America is getting exposed for its long existing racism. But meanwhile, you have to keep your eyes open. Meanwhile, you have to look under what's going on, man. All right, they're opening in this whole door-to-door shit. They're getting ready to crash the economy, flooding the economy with money, and you have to pay attention to all this. Salakia. And war is on the horizon as well. All right. War is on the horizon as well. Let me see here. All right, yeah, let's just right here. Get these out of here.
My family absolutely hated my guts. I got out of rehab. I relapsed in 6 hours.
Damn.
Now, Israel
They're
was one of the
degenerate.
first countries to restore normalcy since the COVID-19 pandemic. A rapid and effective vaccination drive in the country had driven down coronavirus infections and death. And Israel was the first country to go mask-free and abandon all social distancing rules.
Mm-hmm.
But now things have started to change a little. A surge in the Delta variant cases has forced Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett to rethink strategy and to reimpose some COVID restrictions.
Yep, that's right. It's coming back, man.
4 weeks ago, Israel was celebrating a return to normal life. Then along came the more infectious Delta variant of COVID-19.
Let's look at it. Third inoculation launched for vulnerable section.
A surge in cases meant a change of course. Israelis had stopped wearing masks and abandoned social distancing after one of the world's fastest vaccination drives. Now it has reinstated the mandatory wearing of face masks indoors and quarantine for all people arriving in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Prime Minister Naftali Bennett calls the policy soft suppression. His government wants Israelis to learn to live with the virus and to develop herd immunity. It plans to impose the fewest possible restrictions and avoid a fourth national lockdown that could further batter the economy.
So what's the difference between him and Netanyahu, man? Still the same shit. Still locking the citizens down. Still getting ready to come with the third juicer. Nothing's different, man. Okay, this man is the devil. When I say this man, I mean Esau, Edom as a nation, the wicked, okay?
That strategy is drawing parallels with Britain as it lifts all restrictions. Doctors like Gadi Sigal, who heads a coronavirus ward, remain concerned.
We must find the right moment to limit the entry of new mutations from abroad, and the government must find a way to limit further spreading of the virus in the community, because the virus won't stop. It is evolving, it is his nature. But our nature is to survive.
Daily infections are running at about 450, with the Delta variant making up some 90% of cases. About 45 people are in hospital.
This motherfucker has his mask off. He had his mask off.
Around 60% of Israelis have received at least one shot of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. And on Sunday, the government began offering a third shot.
A third.
For those with compromised immunity.
All right. Look, man. Let's see if I can pull up this whole door-to-door shit real quick, man. Just real quick. I'll be right back. I was going to pull up the door-to-door, and right on my feed, the brother GMS Upon Precepts, which is the brother ICR from GMS Charlotte. Look what he has right here. You see the word, unjuiced Americans should not be allowed to work, have access to children. So you see, this is what's getting ready to come down the pike, man. Okay, tyrannical, totalitarianism rule, man, over the people, man. All right, evil time. Let's get that out of Ephesians, man, the 5th chapter, man, because we are to pay attention to these things, man. Okay, we are to pay attention to these things. This is Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. All right, we are hip and privy to the times that we are in, man, and what the hell is going on. Okay, and the wiles of the devil, if you will. Okay, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Evil, troublesome, bad times are getting ready to come, man. Jacob's trouble, if you will. Okay, wherefore you be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And this is the Lord's will, that these troublesome, tumultuous times come, man. All right, be purging out the evil, man. All right, purging out the bad. Okay, verse 18. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And this is a physical wine and metaphorically, okay? All right, don't be drunken and to where you can't understand what the fuck and what the hell times you're in, man. And don't be dealing with different doctrines and philosophies of the shit that's going on. Here you got, man, Sakari, and I haven't spoke on it yet. You know, other brothers did videos about it. But here you got Sakari here in the last days saying that the book of Hebrews is not the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right. And then trying to backtrack and maneuver his way. And like, man, and that's one reason why I stopped listening to Sakari, man. I used to listen to Sakari a lot because him and Deacon used to go into especially in the debates, go into crucial parts of history to help explain, to help me get the understanding of the scriptures. But at the same time, and I could see the pride on him, man. Okay. And you got IUIC through. Okay. Taza, what's his name, man? I forgot the name. It doesn't even matter, man. All right. Niggas is through, man. Okay, niggas is through, man. So and so again, verse 18, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is access to be filled with the Spirit. All right. And that's what we're supposed to be filled, man, with the Spirit and not wine. Okay. Physical wine and metaphorically speaking, man. All right. Other doctrines. Okay. There ain't nothing wrong with having a drink, man. Brothers go drink. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool too, man. But pay attention and be circumspect of the times that we're in, man. And that's what brothers are doing, man. All right. So it's pretty much it, man. I wanted to get into the whole war thing. I guess I could just make a separate video. I didn't want this video to be, too long. So hopefully it was edifying. I want to give our praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.